Greetings, friends. We have, during a Holy Week that has looked unlike any other we have ever experienced, we wove through the parade route and joined Jesus in that triumphal entry last Sunday in the Palm procession, in that Palm March. And the ups and downs of life and the ups and downs of the emotional roller coaster that life offers us are similarly echoed in this Holy Week, the most holy of weeks in the Christian tradition. We have left the table of Maundy Thursday where we were given two mandates from Jesus, two commandments: to love one another as Christ loved, and to do this in remembrance of me, to serve and to feast together in remembrance of Jesus. And we have gone from that table and we find ourselves with Jesus on this Good Friday, the most agonizing of days, where we are forced to confront that things, before they get better, can be terribly despairing and disparaging and gruesome and grim. And that's where we find ourselves today on Good Friday. It is a day that speaks to the human condition for some of us, particularly this year amidst the coronavirus and COVID-19 pandemic. And this day will call us into a day of vigil and a day of prayer, as it has in years past in the life of Zionsville Christian Church. And so we are finding it all the more important this year to reconnect with God and reconnect with one another in our annual prayer vigil that begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow on Holy Saturday and moves until Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Paulette Berger has been gracious and generous in providing a link that you will see attached in this email that will lead to a sign-up genius, where everyone can go and sign up for a 30-minute time period that we might reconnect with God and one another through the spirit of prayer, as we hold on to that space from agony to resurrection. We hold on to that space praying for resurrection for our world, for our country, for our state and our community. And we hold on to prayer that the work of God in the pain might, out of that pain, bring hope. We continue to pray with the Quick family, for Sue and for Don and for Keith. We continue to pray for the Wilson family as they grieve in new and very different ways the deaths of Kathy Wilson Bennett and for Nancy Wilson. We continue to pray for Janae Martin and for her family, for Shelley Skillman and her family at the death of their father and grandfather, Jerry Jones. And we pray for all of those that know a grief that is compounded by the ways in which we're forced to deal with grief this year for the first time in very different ways than we have ever experienced it. It is a dark, dark day for many of us, not only because it's Good Friday and we live in the shadow of the grief of the cross, but it's a dark day because we're living amidst a world that holds so much pain. And so I invite you to find the Sign Up Genius link below for the Holy Saturday prayer vigil, to find your ways of praying for one another and praying even for yourself, that God's light might shine amidst our agony and promise us, as we wait that space from death to hope, that we might hold on to hope and we might look forward to the joy of Easter Sunday. Friends, I'm so grateful that we are finding ways to connect and reconnect, not only with one another, but with God in this incredibly difficult time, in this difficult era. And so we hold on to today, hold vigil tomorrow, and celebrate on Sunday. Let us begin in prayer. Friends, thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing what bubbles out of the prayers that we hold as we knit more firmly the ties that bind us to one another.